What if everything you've been taught about saving money is only half the truth? What if your savings account, the place you were told is safest, is actually part of a larger mechanism designed not to protect your wealth, but to quietly redirect it? Today, we're re-exposing a financial design so deeply embedded in your daily life that you almost never see it. A system where your savings don't sleep. They move, they transform, and in the end, they empower someone else more than they empower you. And the real mystery isn't why this happens. It's how the system was engineered to make it inevitable. This is the hidden mechanism that turns your savings into elite power. To understand how we arrived here, we must go back to a world where money had weight, where wealth meant gold, silver, and something tangible. Back then, if you saved it, you kept it. Nothing invisible touched it, nothing diluted. But then, slowly, quietly, rules changed. Governments needed flexibility. Banks wanted leverage, and the public wanted convenience. Out of these desires came decisions that disconnected money from the real world. Money stopped being something you held and became something that could be controlled. This shift unlocked a new opportunity, not for the average person, but for the institutions that could create credit, multiply deposits, and shape entire economies. Names like Walter Mariner, Eccles, and John Exter, and later Alan Greenspan, architects who, intentionally or not, helped design a structure where trust became the most valuable resource, and you, the saver, were the source of that trust. The origins of the mechanism start with a simple principle. Your savings are not idle. They are raw material. Banks realized that if people trusted them, they could collect deposits. With deposits, they could issue loans. And with loans, they could create money that didn't exist before. This was the beginning of fractional reserve banking, a system that allowed each dollar to be stretched far beyond its physical form. In the early days, this felt like progress. Savers earned interest. Banks grew. Economies expanded. But underneath that growth lay a hidden shift. The value of your savings no longer depended on scarcity. It depended on credit creation, controlled by institutions above you. And once they discovered this power, there was no turning back. By the 20th century, a new force entered the stage. Central banks. These weren't just money managers, they became the architects of money itself. With a single announcement, they could raise or lower the price of money. With a single policy shift, they could increase or decrease its availability. Suddenly, your savings had a master switch. Interest rates, liquidity, inflation, deflation, all dictated from the top down. As industries grew and financial markets exploded, your savings became less about storing value and more about fueling a machine. By the time the gold standard was abandoned in 1971, the transition was complete. Money became symbolic, a number in a system. And symbolic money can be expanded infinitely. But infinite money does not reward everyone equally. It rewards those closest to its creation, not the saver, not the worker, not the small investor. The mechanism was now fully operational. Then came 2008, a global financial crisis that exposed everything. As millions lost jobs, homes, and savings, the institutions that built the system were rescued with unprecedented liquidity. Trillions poured into banks, corporations, and markets. Not into households, not into savers, not into the people who trusted the system the most. And here is the harsh truth. When the system breaks, savers absorb the damage, but elites absorb the opportunity. Your interest rates drop, your purchasing power erodes, your wealth shrinks. Meanwhile, the assets owned by those at the top skyrocket once liquidity returns. This wasn't an accident. It was a predictable outcome of the mechanism, and the fallout continues today. Savings accounts that earn less than inflation, housing prices rising faster than wages for decades, a global economy so dependent on debt that ordinary savings shrink by design. Your saved dollar can't chase a house, can't chase stocks, can't chase land, but an institution's dollar, multiplied through credit, can. The result is a world where your savings are used to strengthen the system that weakens them. Economists have tried to fix the system countless times. Stricter reserve rules, limits on credit creation, monetary tightening, new regulations. But every fix collides with the same problem. Modern economies depend on ever expanding credit. Stopping the mechanism risks slowing growth, collapsing markets, and destabilizing governments. No nation can afford that, so the mechanism continues, and today, the evidence is clearer than ever. Global debt has crossed $310 trillion. Savings accounts in many countries now lose value every year. Central banks hold more power than at any other time in history, and the wealth gap between the top 1% and everyone else is accelerating faster than ever recorded. The pattern repeats. Savings weaken. Debt rises, assets inflate, institutions gain power, and the cycle starts again. Your money works harder for the system than it does for you, because the mechanism was designed that way. So, what can we take away from all this? First, your savings do not sit safely in a vault. They are transformed, multiplied, and reallocated to strengthen those at the top. Second, the erosion of your savings isn't random. It's the natural outcome of a system built on credit expansion and controlled scarcity. And third, in today's world, wealth comes from ownership, not storage. Those who understand the mechanism rise with it. Those who don't are caught underneath it. But here's the warning. As global debt rises and currencies weaken, the mechanism accelerates. Crises no longer destroy the system. They feed it. Each new cycle pulls more financial gravity upward. If you want to understand how to protect your wealth in a world designed to quietly drain it, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the more you learn about this system, the less power it has over your future. And remember, your savings were never just savings. They were always part of a mechanism, one you were never meant to see.